Welcome. This is our second sales training here in Utah County. We're stoked to have you guys here tonight. We do these every 2 weeks here, and then on the in-between weeks, we have a big group in Cedar City and up in Rexburg, so some of our regionals travel, but welcome back. It's been a minute, so we're stoked to see you guys. I'm going to just do announcements tonight and a couple kind of kickoff slides, and then I'm going to pass it over to some of the regionals who are doing some training tonight. So this will be fun. You'll see some new faces tonight up here front and center. So anyway, we'll get started. So tonight we are covering, whoa, that kicked on. There we go. Hello. There we go. We're covering the initial approach tonight, which is like the very beginning of the sale, and then buying signs and objections. So these are like this is like your first minute or two with a customer and some of the things that are happening. And so we're going to get into how to sell a pest control account tonight. So thanks for being here. I say this every time, but your ROI on your time here, it will be amazing. You'll make a ton more money this summer if you come to these. And if you're committed to summer and you come to these, you'll get way better results. So thank you for being here. I know it's a sacrifice. I know you guys are busy with school. But we're stoked to have you here. So couple calendar things coming up. So if you sold last year and earned the Mexico trip, we leave on Monday. What this means for you, if you're a first year rep, is very likely the person that you've been training with is going to be gone. So I'm going to talk in a minute about some of our online videos that you'll be able to utilize next week, but that would be a really good week to dig into those because very likely the person that you've been working with and doing role plays with and practicing with will be on a beach, not helping you. So unless they're really generous with their time in Mexico. And anyway, so we go to Mexico Monday. That'll be fun. The week after, we have a sales training in Cedar City and Rexburg, and then we'll be back here the week after that. The 5th is a pickleball event. And bring your friends to that. It'll be really fun. And we've rented out a bunch of courts at the Pickleball USA. I think this is in Orem. So that'll be great. And anyway, that's some upcoming calendar stuff. And then the last slide I just have tonight is we are going to, so we have a bunch of videos, and we've spent a bunch of time, energy, money on revamping our sales training. And it's very digestible. There's a bunch of like chapters, and if you just watch the videos in order, it will be really helpful for you. And those are all ready. So they're ready to go. We actually have an app that we've developed, and it's now been approved, but we're like very, very close to being able to roll it out. We're going to be testing it over the next couple of days and making sure it is what we want it to be. But in the time being, as long as you're onboarded and you have Slack, Theron over the next day or two is going to be communicating this, but you'll go to the All Point Pros channel, and you'll go to the pinned links at the very top. So you'll just hit All Point Pros, and in fact, yes. So in fact, I'm just going to kind of like pull this out. But like if you hit All Point Pros, you go to pins. Or no, or do you go to details, Theron? Details and settings. So go to details and settings, and then it should be pinned in there. Sales training course, I see it. So All Point Pros, details and settings, and then you'll go to that. There's a link to it, and it will take you directly to our channel where there's like 40 videos, and I would start ripping through those and getting comfortable with those, and they can be really helpful. And again, especially next week, who you've been working with and training with will probably be gone. So it'd be a good time to plug into that. If you're not onboarded yet, like if you're hired but you haven't gotten Slack downloaded, that's a really good kind of push to get you into Slack because you're not going to be able to access the training materials unless you're in Slack. So you got to get in Slack. That's important. So any questions on that, just on Slack or the training videos or anything I can speak to on that before we get going tonight? Okay, cool. So Parker and Carter, who are both regionals here, are going to tag team and missionary teach tonight, tag team. So let's turn the time over to them. Let's give them a big hand. I forgot some slides, but anyway, we have an incentive going on. Here, why don't you cover that? Okay. I'm going to turn my mic off. You can cover that. Yeah.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
Do you have a mic? Yeah, cool. If you're talking tonight, we're going to come track you down and give you a mic to talk into so that the people on Zoom can hear, because otherwise they can't hear you.
Do you want to hit this and I'll do the...
Sure. Yeah, we are doing a recruiting incentive. This is company-wide, so this is for anybody that's joined with Pointe. We did this last year. It was actually a ton of fun. If you sign 2 reps, you get to go to a Utah Mammoth game. And then if you sign 3, you get to go to dinner at Roost Chris as well as the game. And then if you sign 4 reps, then you get to do all of it and get a free jersey. So pretty exciting.
No.
Can we turn yours up a little on your back? Yeah.
This is the bracket. So Abe, Dallin, Jaron, Mason, Paulo have all earned the Utah Mammoth game and Ruth's Chris. So really fun. We still have, are we extending it, by the way?
I think Abe's earned Ruth's Chris, right? And then just Abe.
Oh, just Abe. Okay. Are we extending the incentive?
Yes. In fact, I think we'll announce that just now, but I'm breaking my own rule. We're going to extend this incentive. We're going to extend it. Sorry, we're struggling on the mics. This is going to extend till February 7th. 8th.
Oh, it's right there.
Wow, it's on the screen. February 8th.
Someone should have told us.
Struggle.
Come on, guys.
But the reason why is obviously we're going to be in Mexico, so it doesn't make a ton of sense for us to end an incentive when like the recruiters that are probably helping you onboard your reps are again on a beach. So we're going to give it one more week from when we get back to close up a bunch of recruits, and then we'll finish it up. But I think the Mammoth game will be towards the end of the month in February.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're on this list, good job. Give them a round of applause for sure. Cool.
Okay. This is our signing class so far. And then if your name is on this list, we need to get you onboarded.
It's a big no-no.
Yeah, you're in trouble. So you should have gotten an email. As soon as you got paperwork done, you should have gotten an email from Theron. It was a Google form. We need to figure out how to pay you, and then shirt size and like all of the other details that we need. So make sure that you do that tonight.
It was a text, actually.
It was a text. We're really on point today. Okay, we're going to do a little review before we get into some new content today for training. So last time we talked about communication filters and how we communicate to customers. Verbal communication, metaverbal, and nonverbal. Can I have a rookie tell me a couple principles of nonverbal communication from last time? Yeah, Jacob.
Good job.
Okay, well, I know that at very least it has to do with the way that we present ourselves, with clothing, with our body language, with how far we are from the door, things like that. They're pretty simple, but
Yeah.
immediately when we meet someone, send a message.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Other principles would include eye contact, head nodding. We're communicating to the customer not just with our verbals, right? What about metaverbal? What are some principles of metaverbal? Yeah, let's get the mic right here.
Gable.
Thank you, Gable.
Metaverbal, that's things like the pitch of our voice, how fast we speak, some of our wording choices, things like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep, so your speed, your pitch, your tone, even silence in your pitch is a principle of metaverbal communication. It's interesting, this chart is kind of showing what is most important with communicating. All of the vets, raise your hand if this applies to you, but there have been sales in years past where I have totally botched what I'm saying because it's 8 o'clock, I've grinded all day, I'm tired, and then I don't really say the pitch totally correct. But my metaverbal and my nonverbal communication was on par, that they still said how much. How many of you has that applied to you? Yeah. So that just shows you how important it is. We will coach you not only on what to say, but we will coach you on how to say it and your body language and those principles too.
Cool. And then we want to review the sales cycle. So our first training was just this little portion right here, kind of the first like minute to 2 minutes of the sale. And then everything from that first like interaction with them going forward is like the rest of this. So based off of your initial approach, you're going to get a few reactions from the customer or responses. And they're either going to be buying signs or they're going to be objections. So we're actually going to cover a couple of those today so that we can like start putting a picture in your mind of like what this sale looks like as you move forward. After you overcome their objections and they ask you how much and you get into their backyard, you're going to present. So you're going to build the need for the pest control, show them the value, and then build urgency to buy today. And then typically at that point, you've given them like the price, all of that kind of information, and then you're going to close them to like set an appointment or create them as a customer. At that point, typically you will end up getting like another objection. Just kind of like with these objections up here, is my microphone like cutting in and out, or am I just hearing that?
You sound good.
Okay, sounds very weird. But then you're going to overcome those objections and then reclose. So some of your better reps, they're going to overcome several objections up here, get to the backyard, present to them. Then they're going to come here and they're going to close, and then they'll receive a couple more objections, and they're going to overcome those and then get the deal. So by the time we like approach the summer, these trainings are going to cover all of these. So today we're going to go over a few buying signs and an objection.
Cool. Here's some of our objectives today. So we're going to review the initial approach, which we covered last time. We are also going to review how to handle buying signs and objections. So some of the buying signs, why does it keep doing that? Some of the buying signs are like how much, what are you treating for, and then what are some common objections? Yell them out.
I'm not interested.
Not interested because I'm doing it myself, or like I have a company, I don't see bugs, right? Most of the time you're going to be handling objections before you handle any buying signs. So we're going to go over mostly objections today.
Cool. And then this is our review of the initial approach. Super simple. So yeah, the first thing you're going to do is kind of intro yourself. Hey, how's it going? You're going to then name drop and build credibility. Cool, I just got done working with Bob. And then you're going to engage the customer. So you're going to ask them a question. This can be fluid depending on the area you're in. Some people are going to say like, have any of the neighbors been by to let you know what's going on? Some of you may ask like, have the neighbors told you about me? Something to get them like engaged in the conversation. That way you're just like not talking to a brick wall the whole time. And then you're going to deliver the offering. So you're going to be like, hey, I'm doing pest control. If I can fit you in, I would do your home for half off. Another route you could do is you say, I'm doing pest control and my trucks are in the area today. Who do you have coming out? So there's a few variations there. I like to situational sell. If you've ever heard of what that is, it's where you get into an area and you're going to say, okay, I think this is going to help these people because majority of them don't have companies. Now, if you're saying this, it's probably because you've heard that a lot of people have companies, right? So you're preemptively kind of tailoring your approach to them for that. So.
Yeah, which is the next part. So we have our switchover phrase, which is who do you guys have coming out to do the pest control for you this year? You'll honestly be using that quite a bit this year on the doors. But to Parker's point, there are going to be a lot of times where instead of using that pitch, you'll go right for the discount. So what that will sound like is perfect. My truck is in the area. We're doing the pest control for a bunch of the homes right around you guys. If I could earn your business, we would treat the home for super cheap. Or in this case, half the normal price, right? Rookies, what message does that convey to the customer, that discount phrase? Yeah, let's go to Brady.
It creates a sense of urgency so that they want to get the deal.
Yeah, what part of it creates that sense of urgency in that?
Saying that like we're in the area for the next couple of days, and then saying like if you can fit your home we can do it for half off.
Exactly. Yep. So we're trying to create a Black Friday effect with this message. So And I'd like to hear from Parker too. When I think of using this pitch, a lot of times you will be in like a newer development with newer homes. And if you knock a few doors, it seems like you're the only one that has been by. No one has a pest control company yet. You should use this phrase.
Definitely.
You should
Yeah.
talk about how a bunch of the neighbors in that specific community are using you, and then go right to the discount. Can you think of any others that you would use this instead of?
Yeah, and I might be a little different than some of our other regionals. I actually typically end up using this more than preemptively doing the switchover thing. I feel like it doesn't set me back too much if I then go into switchover after the fact. This is kind of what I'm most comfortable with. To kind of break down the 3 points with the discount, to make it really clear, it's for a limited time, right? So Black Friday discount is only on Black Friday. Or it used to be. They've gotten pretty lax with it recently. But only
It's all on Amazon now.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a limited day, right? So typically just that day, it's a big discount, and then there's usually a limited number of items, right? And that limited number of items is where this "if we can fit you in" phrase becomes really, really important, right? That's why people used to hang out outside of Walmart to run in there and like punch their neighbors for their Xbox, right? And so when you can like make sure that you have all 3 of those like in there and they understand that, they will really ask how much like quite often. So if you do this right, it makes your life great.
By the way, I know we've mentioned this before. I think Parker even mentioned this last time we trained. This is a true message. Like our techs really are in the areas that we're servicing, and if they work with us on the timing, we will work with them on the price. So you can like be sure that this message is true. Like it's just they're trading like their money and like saving money for like working with us on the time.
Cool. Yeah, let's skip over this one.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna have 4 predictable responses. We say 4. These 2 you're gonna hear a lot. So your buying signs are gonna be like, how much is it? What are you treating for? We'll go over both of those today. The objections, this is why I say we say 4, is you're not interested is typically because of a reason, right? I'm not interested because I don't see bugs. I'm not interested because I treat myself, right? So there's different subcategories of not interested. And then we have a switchover. Get really comfortable with switchovers. As a first year rep, they're typically like kind of your thorn in your side. So if you can get really good at them, it just makes your life a little bit easier and allow you to pick up like another deal every single day. Cool. Yeah, we'll go into how much. So if you're hearing this, I don't know if you guys ever watched SpongeBob growing up. Did you ever see like Mr. Krabs' eyes like turn into dollar bills and like spin? Well, every time I hear that, that's what I think of. I'm like, perfect. Like this guy is ready to buy pest control. Kind of the format of that is you're going to say, great question. So Carter's going to ask me how much. I'm going to say, great question. What's the square footage of your home? And then they're going to tell you, Carter's going to say like 2,000 square feet. I'll say, perfect. I just need to do a quick inspection around the outside of the home, and then I can give you a free quote. And then you're going to close, right? We always want to be closing, so this is your close on there. You're going to say, is the gate on the left or the right? And you're going to assume the gate is on one of their sides of their home. So you'll start walking to the right. Gate on the left or the right? He'll be like, the right.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
And then I'll be like, cool, if you just want to meet me in the back, that'd be great. Or if you want to throw some shoes on and meet me out back, that'd be awesome. So it's honestly a really simple response to a question. But I do want to kind of throw out the question to you guys. Why do you think we ask this question right at the very start? Yeah.
Testing. Okay. It builds value into your pitch. So it shows that you're not just giving them a random price, but you're trying to tailor it to them. So you're asking the square footage of your home so that you can know what price you're going to get for their house.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So we will, and I wish we had a picture of it up on here. We might even have one right there. So there's going to be a pricing sheet that you have this year, and it's going to have like a breakdown of all these different square footages of homes, and it'll have a price on there. So we do base the service off of how big their home is. One of the most powerful reasons I think this question is right here as well is typically when somebody gives you a how much, what they expect from the sales rep is to be like super excited and like, cool, yeah, it's $100, like take it or leave it, right? in this scenario, you're actually like putting the question back on them, meaning like, hey, I'm not super excited you asked me how much, like this is a totally normal thing, like let me figure this out for you. So it kind of makes you seem like a non-eager sales rep, which I appreciate. And then the last thing I want to mention on this is we have a couple words underlined here. So we have quick inspection, outside of home, and free quote. For a first year rep in here, why do you think those three like phrases are underlined?
Ethan, Becca.
People don't want you to waste their time with an inspection, and they don't want you to go inside their house because they don't trust you, and they don't want to be charged anything if they don't know like what the quote's gonna be exactly.
Yep. I love it. Amen.
Sounds like you've been trained.
Yeah, you know what's going on.
Good word.
So yeah, those are the three main concerns people are going to have. So if you, and you'll figure this out this summer, if you leave one of these things out or if they don't pick up on it, you're going to get some form of like follow-up question to closing here, right? Like they'll typically just be like, hey, no, I'm good, and kind of leave you like, oh crap, right, I just blew this, like how much? So the way that I do this, I'll typically try to like emphasize those words as I say it and make sure that they heard them. That way you kind of overcome their three main concerns that can rise about doing an inspection on their home. So am I showing this one or do you want to show it?
Yeah, you show this one. One other thing that I want to just mention too, Parker has this analogy with the how much. The biggest stumbling block that we see every year with a rookie or rookies in general is that oftentimes it's really easy to ask for permission to go and do the inspection right here. Because we're all polite people, like that's how we're built, that's how we're raised. But it's important, they asked how much, so they gave you permission to do the inspection. That's the way I think about it. Parker's analogy is like a car mechanic. Like if you go to take your car in to a mechanic, if the transition is like being clunky or something, they're not gonna ask like, okay, like you wouldn't get a price until they pop the hood, right? And they're not gonna ask like, would you be okay if I like pop the hood? They're gonna say, okay, pull it into bay 1, go inside the office, get some popcorn, and I'll pop your hood and see what's going on, right? So the same thing is true here. In order for me to get you an accurate quote, I have to do this inspection around the outside, and I'm being really assumptive about it. Notice Parker, in this role play, he's not gonna ask for permission. It's on the right or the left. I'll meet you out back. So.
Cool. And then for those of you that weren't here last time, like a quick review on like your body language at the front door when you first like create the interaction. I'll start from the top. But yeah, I want to be like a good 6 to 8 feet away from the door. I want to be at a 45-degree angle. Typically there's usually some steps around that distance, so I could like have a foot on a step. You don't want to be like peering over or like infringing on them. So typically I'm going to be back on my back foot and at a 45-degree angle. So this is me like knocking a door.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. I just did some work with Bob right here.
Okay.
Has he filled you in on what I'm doing for the neighbors at all, or?
No, I haven't heard anything. What's going on?
Okay, yeah, no stress. So my trucks are going to be out here today. I'm just doing a bunch of the homes, and if I can treat your home for the pest control, I would do it for half off.
Okay, we've actually been looking into it. What's the cost on it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you know the square footage of the home?
Yeah, it's like 1,800 or something.
Cool. Yeah, all I'll need to do is just a really quick lap around the outside of the home, and then I could shoot you a free quote. Is the best way just here to the left?
Yeah, there's one on either side.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, if you just want to throw some shoes on, meet me out back.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Good job. Let's give him a round of applause. What'd you guys notice with body language, with metaverbals? Like, what key takeaways?
That pitch made Parker over $100,000 on his first
Yeah, it
earnings
did.
last summer. So.
Yeah, as rusty as it is.
It looks easy, but it's high level. Like what he's doing, everything he's doing down to like his tone, like how fast he's talking, his body language, it's all intentional. What'd you guys notice? Nothing. Perfect. Shane.
Yeah, he, like you said, he didn't seem like super eager. This is what he does all day, every day. He was, yeah, calm and collected, and you know, like, oh, it's like you came to him. He's just there, ready to offer you a good deal on a good product.
Yeah.
He just knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he didn't leap at me when I asked how much, right? Yeah, Jenna.
I think it's awesome because he didn't exactly say word for word everything. Like, he added his own vocabulary, but at the same time, he stuck exactly to the pitch. And I think that's so important, especially as rookies learn the pitch. It feels robotic, but it also works. And he didn't stray from what he was supposed to say.
Yeah.
I know to maybe bounce off of Jenna really quick, because I think it is something to like maybe teach first year reps. I believe sales is like a human anatomy, right? Like a lot of what we're teaching is primarily like the structure of the body. Right? So it's going to be like the skeleton, and there is obviously nerves and flesh and all sorts of different parts of your body. As a first year rep, like that was the analogy I used, and like anytime I'd have like a slump, if I went back to the skeleton, it would always get better. Like I would always start selling again. So when you first get started, like don't be super eager to go change a bunch of words and like do all these crazy things. But as you evolve, you can start adding different body parts to the sales body, and it will definitely help you in the long run. But yeah, we're teaching skeleton here. So we're teaching very fundamental, simple principles that you can make deals with. So
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, the next buying sign that we'll cover tonight is what are you treating for, which is also really fun. Like they wouldn't be asking what are you treating for unless there was some interest in pest control, right? Oftentimes you will get this right after your initial approach. I've gotten it even after you overcome one objection, because they may need to trust you a little bit more before they ask this. But your response, this is kind of where selling on the front porch gets pretty fun, because you're going to actually get pretty mobile with the sale. There's going to be, we talked about space zones last time, like public, intimate, personal space zones. And this is where you're going to try to get personal with them and get close with them, show them some bugs, and then step away and get really intentional there. So I will actually show you that when we role play, and then I'm going to break down what I do in the role play afterwards. But just to cover it real quick, when they ask what you're treating for, it's super important that we're as general as possible. We don't want to be specific until they give us specific issues that they've seen in the past. So we say, great question, let me actually show you. I'll approach Parker. We treat for all the general pests in the area. What have you guys noticed in the past? Notice how general that question is. I'm not asking, what have you guys seen since you've been in the home? Or like, what have you seen in the past year? It's like, what have you seen in the past? Every vet will raise their hand. If I ask you guys, when they ask this question and you responded, what have you seen in the past? You'll get people that say, I saw spiders in my basement 2 years ago. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to build need off that because you're giving me that on a silver platter. I even had somebody this last year where the lady was like, oh, did you go over to Debbie's house next door? Like, yeah, I did. I talked to her earlier. Oh, she's actually dealing with mice, and I don't want mice in my house. Like, do you guys cover those? So like, sometimes it's not even at their house that they're asking for. So that's why we make it so general. Any questions there? Does that make sense? Head nod if that makes sense. Okay. Then, as they give us pests that they're dealing with, we will start to get more and more narrow. We're kind of throwing a very wide net at first, and as they give us pests that they're dealing with or that they've seen in the past, we make that net more and more narrow, more shallow. So I'll start asking discovery questions like, okay, like, are you seeing those ants more on the inside of the house or are they on the outside? If it's like wasps, okay, are they around the back deck, like around the roof line? Where do you tend to see those? How long have you seen them? Not only does that give you more information for the sale, but it will actually make you the pest expert. It makes you come off as the pest expert. And then the close is really simple. We just go back to the discount. Yeah, I totally take care of those. That's what Bob was dealing with too. And if I could earn your business while I'm here today, it'd be super cheap, right? So I'm going to demo this. I want you guys to pay attention to my body language, and then I'm going to break it down how it works after. Did you have something, Park?
Just go, as you're doing this, I know it's kind of annoying, but hit the clicker, like start on the initial approach slide, because I want reps to be able to track with you on.
Or you could go 2 slides further and have the bulky.
Oh, that's true. It's on.
Right there.
I guess we can start here,
Yeah.
and then I'll go back.
Yeah. So just focus on the left as
Here,
he's doing
why
this.
don't you do that? I'm not going to remember to do it.
Don't worry about the right side, but just watch the left side as he does his initial approach, and then he's going to backtrack and go to the "What are you trading for?" slide, just so you can have something to look at while he's doing this.
Okay.
Because he'll follow this, the framework.
Okay, cool. Let's go from the top.
Cool. Hey man, what's up?
Yeah, nothing much. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Good. I'm doing some work right behind you with Debbie and then John next door. Did they tell you what's going on yet?
No, they didn't. What's up?
Yeah, we do their pest control and then a bunch of the other homes here on Highland Drive. If we could actually earn your business while we're here, we could treat the home for super cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I know a couple of them. What are you treating for?
Yeah, let me actually show you. Great question.
Go to that. Yeah, there you go. No,
Great
go to the
question.
"What are you trading for?" slide.
Sorry, I got to go like 3 back. There we go.
Okay.
Great question. We treat for all the general pests in the area, so I know Bob was dealing with a few of the ants and spiders. Nothing super major.
Okay.
What have you guys noticed in the past?
Mainly ants.
Yeah, those are pretty common. We're kind of built on an ant hill around
Oh,
here.
definitely, yeah.
Are those coming inside or are they just on the outside of the house?
I'm not home enough. My wife talks about them being like around the kitchen sink and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed them a ton, but she definitely has. So.
Yeah, Bob was saying the same thing. They like the water source and some of the food sources in the kitchen, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, we can definitely get rid of those for you. While we're here today, I'm trying to fit in a few more homes on my route today and tomorrow.
Okay.
So if I could earn your business, we would get you done for super cheap.
Okay. Yeah. How much is it?
Yeah, good question. Do you know what the square footage on the home is?
Yeah, it's like 1,500 square feet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can actually get you a quote on that for free. I just need to do a quick inspection just on the outside of the house, and I'll get you that free estimate. Do you have a gate over here on the right-hand side?
Yeah, it's just on the right.
Okay, I'll just meet you out back.
Cool. Awesome. What a beast. What a beast.
Can I share something?
Yes.
So you guys are gonna observe that so there's those 4 pathways, right? How much? What are you trading for? And then the objections. Switch over or one of the other objections. Your goal is to turn if it's not a how much, your goal is to take any of those other 3 and turn it into a how much. So how much is it's the thing that gives you permission to then get into your presentation, right? So notice that Carter went this route, but then Parker at some point asked how much, and then you saw the same thing that Parker taught on the last slide. So it's like a flow chart, and we're trying to flow it back to them giving us that how much, and then now I'm in my presentation mode.
Yep. Yep, it all flows to the how much. There's yeah, go ahead.
Quick question.
Yeah, can we get him a mic?
What's your name?
Carter.
Okay, Carter. I was. Hold it fully down. No. Yeah. Oh. Got it. Yep. Okay. Carter, I was just curious. Have you personally seen better success using wording as like earning your business rather than saying if I
Yeah,
can squeeze
good
you
question.
in, we could do it for super cheap?
I don't think it really matters. I think it's just a question of style.
Oh.
Like I like to personalize every sale that I get. Like I enjoy connecting on that level with people, and I like making people feel like they're doing business with me and not necessarily just with Palisade, who we're selling with. So whether you say if I could fit you in, I'm sure Parker does it a different way than I do it. There's not one right way to do it, but yeah, I'm glad you noticed that. That's kind of more of a style thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, good question. Cool. I want to just unpack, before we move on, I want to just unpack the body language part. What did you guys notice, like a rookie, about my body language? How did I approach him, and what did I do before I approached him? Yeah, Ethan.
Microphone. Yeah.
One thing that I really liked was when you handed him the sheet first, and then while he was looking at it, you kind of swung in and got in his personal space without being super intrusive.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, we call that the banana. Shout out Hannah Fairbanks. She likes to say peel in and peel out. So I peel in because I don't want to square him up and approach him head on. That'll make him feel uncomfortable. And then I also, to your point too, I'm going to signal to him that I'm about to approach him. So I say, great question, let me show you, before I even take a step. So that way, a lot of times, if the customer is kind of reserved, if they're in the doorway and they're peeking their head out, sometimes they'll just walk out when you say that, and they'll grab whatever you're handing to them. So yeah, awesome. What else? Is there anything else you guys noticed? Yeah, Brady.
Once you were like shoulder to shoulder with them, that's kind of what you explained what you're doing. So you kind of felt like you're working together on what the problem is.
Yes,
And then you backed off and then asked them a question so
exactly.
that you felt more comfortable with that.
Yeah, yeah. It would be really uncomfortable if I said, yeah, great question, let me show you. We treat for all the general pests in the area. What have you guys noticed in the past, right?
Like wasps, buddy.
Yeah. That's even uncomfortable with him, and
Yeah.
I've known Parker for a long time. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad you caught that. That's great. Did you have anything else on your end?
No, I
Okay.
think you guys are right on the money with all of it. So
Okay, cool.
awesome. Moving on. Now objections. Those two are unique because you do have just a slight like, hey, great question. Like, let me get into it. With your objections that you're going to get, there's a little bit more of like a cycle that we're going to follow. So that's going to become first an empathy statement, 2 a tailored response, and then 3 a close. They're all super, super important, and I can kind of give you the reasons why. So without an empathy statement, for example, what that looks like is you're going to say, that's an awesome question, or I totally understand, or I gotcha. That helps the customer feel understood. So if they're like, hey, I really don't want pest control, and you just go, well, let me tell you why. It's like really combative. So by having an empathy statement, you're going to soften them, right? You're going to be like, hey man, I totally get it, but now let me tell you why you should buy it. Now your tailored response, I like to refer to that as logic. This is going to be all about making them think in a different way in your favor. So these are going to be phrases that help them understand why they should still buy, or that they're still qualified to buy the pest control. And then 3 is close, and that there is going to be to progress the sale forward, right? So if you miss 2, what do you think is going to happen? Like if you don't give them new logic, what are the type of responses that you're going to get? Maybe a veteran that's sold or a rookie.
Not a veteran, but probably
Basically.
the same objection. Probably a similar objection because you wouldn't have explained anything away if they don't understand.
Exactly, right? So if this person's saying, hey, I don't have any bugs, and you go, oh, no, yeah, no worries at all. If I can fit you in, I can treat your home for half off. They're going to go, yeah, man, I really just don't have any bugs. Thank you for stopping by, right? And now if you miss the close, what do you, as a rookie maybe, what do you think is going to happen if you don't close at the end of your tailored response? Go ahead.
They're just going to be like, cool, yeah, like, cool, thanks for telling me, but then there's nothing that happens after that.
Exactly right. So they're going to thank you for the information, and they're probably going to shut the door. So it's really important you hit all 3 of these. I feel like it's a pretty individual thing on which one like you maybe lack as a rookie. For me, I feel like my tailored responses were trash as a rookie. I felt
Same.
like I could like close, and I had the great question thing down, saying that every time. But making sure that I had enough logic to be able to convince or help them understand why they should still buy pest control, that was tricky for me, right? And so I had to then, on a piece of paper every day, write down my logic statements or my tailored responses so that I could remember them well enough to, get sales. So now we're going to go into the objection of not seeing bugs, and we're going to have, like I just taught, an empathy statement, tailored response, and then a close for them.
Yep. So as Parker just mentioned, our empathy is we're just going to signal to the customer, I hear you, I understand what you're saying. So for not seeing bugs, this says, no problem, a lot of the neighbors we're treating for aren't seeing too many pests right now either. The way that I say it is a little bit different, but it communicates the same message. Like, yeah, no worries. Honestly, right now it's super early in the season. You really shouldn't be seeing a whole lot of bug activity, right? Communicates the same thing. I'm not agreeing with them, but I'm like on the same page as them, right? And then I want to give them the logic. I'm trying to change their mind with the tailored response. So a lot of times my phrase will be, just so you know, a lot of the neighbors are just doing a preventative treatment before summer. It's just making sense right now because it's so cheap, and it's so cheap. And then I would either soft close if they haven't totally warmed up and I don't think that they're going to say how much, then I might soft close. Most of the time, and I think Parker would agree with this, most of the time I will go right for a discount close. I'll try to get them to say how much again. And if they tell me no, then I will use this to like get over one more no. So I'll be like, and if I could fit you in, I could treat your home for super cheap. No, man, I think we're good. Like if you have a card, you can totally leave it, but we'll pass this time around. Yeah, no worries. I guess just out of curiosity, when was the last time you had the home preventatively treated? And then that keeps the conversation moving a little bit more.
That is how I'll do it a lot of times.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, my philosophy there is like, I want the how much, and so I'm gonna try to like have shots on goal as many times as possible. And if they don't get it, if I don't get it off of so cheap, or if I can fit you in, I'll do it for half off, then I am gonna obviously want to continue the conversation. So I'm gonna hurry and throw out like a soft close or like a question that's gonna like give me information I can use for my next logic statement, right? Or my next tailored response.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do it the same way.
Cool. Okay, we want to have one of our vets demo this. We're gonna have Tyler Demand come up and demo this for us.
Tyler Demand's done this for.
Yeah, let's go. Let's give him a round of applause. Coming up.
Tyler, how long have you sold for?
4 years.
He's been at it for 4 years. He's part of my office, so he's a lot of fun to have around. So he's going to show it. Do we have another slide after this that has it? And
Yes.
the initial?
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, just watch like the cycle. So he is going to go through all of this. He's going to get an objection. I'm going to tell him we're not seeing bugs. And then he's going to overcome that objection. And then I'm going to give him probably a how much. And then he's going to go through that. So you guys can start to see like the flow of what this is going to look like real time, like on the doors. So, you ready?
Here, let me hold that for you so you don't have to.
Do you want to go behind him so they can see him? Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm just working for a couple of your neighbors right here. Did they talk with you guys yet?
They haven't. What's going on?
Yeah. So a couple of them just called me out for their pest control. Who do you guys have coming out this year?
Yeah, we actually don't have anybody. We're just not seeing a ton of bugs.
Okay. Honestly, it's super early in the season. I would be shocked if you had seen anything inside. Most of them here, they're just having us do the preventative treatment before the summer hits. And since we're here, it's super cheap.
Okay.
Do you know the last time you guys had that done?
Yeah, I think it's been like 4 or 5 years.
Okay, yeah, it'd definitely be time to get that done. If I could do it, I have a spot open just right after Debbie. I could do it for like half the normal price.
Okay. Yeah, how much is that?
Yeah, great question. Do you know the size of the place?
Yeah, it's like 3,000 square feet.
Okay, I'll just take a quick look on the outside and then I'll let you have a free quote. Is the gate just over here?
Yeah, just on the left here.
Okay, I'll just meet you out back.
Cool.
Nice
Give
work,
it up.
dude. That's not easy to
You
do.
can stay up here for a second.
Even if you're a multi-year vet, that's not easy to do in front of 30, 40 people in person and then 40 people over Zoom. So good work, man.
Yeah, that looked awesome. What did you guys notice or recognize about his pitch? Yep, Mike.
He was very intentional with like his hand movements and his nodding and his head movements. Like I found myself nodding with him, and just like his body language. He knows like what he was doing with each thing. So
Yeah, no, that's a good point. What else? Brian.
I liked that, like, through the whole thing, it just felt like he was expecting everything you were going to say. And obviously it's, like, written up here, but when someone says they're not seeing bugs, like, we know what to do from there. And, like, I thought it was good that he was like, you were like, yeah, it's been, like, 5 years. And he, like, kind of laughed and was like, oh, for sure, like, it's about time you get that done. And you just, like, agreed with him. You're like, oh, well, of course it's time to get it done. So it was just super natural. Like, he knew exactly where to go and didn't leave any room for, like, doubt in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Brian. Anything else? Beck.
I was just gonna say, like, he didn't really portray himself as a like salesy person. It was more just a messenger, and like, this is a service that we're providing for the neighbors, and it just seemed really logical to hop on the trend with everyone else. So.
Yeah, I love it. Can we get a mic over on the side?
Just along with what Becca said, I think he did a really good job at bandwagoning. It felt like every other sentence we were going back to the neighbors' names, which was awesome. It just really created the bandwagon effect. So.
I don't even remember if we've gone deep into like trend, the conversation of trend. Raise your hand if like you're a first year and you know what trend is.
Like bandwagon.
Yeah, like a bandwagon trend. Okay. So yeah, essentially what Jenna was saying is like it's really helpful to relay it back to the neighbors. There's like a phrase of like keeping up with the Joneses. That is a very real thing. Typically my areas that I like go into and I can sell 6 or 7 the first day, like I'm typically gonna sell like 40 accounts in that area just because they see all the neighbors are actually getting their home treated. I have a ton of names to use. And so people buy on trend a lot. So if you can develop the skill of relaying it back to the neighbors, you'll sell a ton of pest control this summer.
Cool.
So, thanks, Tyler. Give it
Thanks,
up for Tyler
man.
again.
Good work. Okay. Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to share is just this objection cycle. So like they're showing one objection, but this will apply to any objection. That's the beauty of it, is it's the same process. Like you're always going to empathize. Your logic will sound different because you're speaking to different objections, right? And so that's going to be tailored. That's why we call it a tailored response. And then you're always going to close with a question or some sort of like trying to incite the how much. And so that, although they just showed one objection, just know that like that's the beauty of this is you learn the pattern, and then any objection that comes all summer long, you'll know, gotta empathize, gotta share my best logic statement to change their mind, and then I'm either gonna ask a question to keep the convo alive, or I'm gonna try to get that how much. So that's, you know, that's kind of a pattern. The other thing I just wanted to highlight, hopefully Tyler's okay with me saying this, but Tyler is a cool example. So Tyler had a way big summer last year. Tyler is a cool example of someone that like, a lot of first year reps, like when I got into sales, I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm like the most like loud, ambitious, like charismatic person in the world. And there's a lot of different types of personalities in the room. Tyler's actually a way soft-spoken dude, as you just saw, and he sold a ton of accounts last year and made a lot of money. And so like that pitch and this works, period. Like if you'll just plug in and trust the process and work really hard like Tyler does, you can make a lot of money doing this, and you don't have to be a specific type of like loud, salesy person, if that makes sense. So anyway, I thought that'd be something interesting to highlight with that.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Good job. We want to invite a rookie to come up now. So now is the time to get better. Myself and Parker are going to train you on the.
Trying to find, you want this one?
Yeah, let's do this one.
Okay.
We're going to train you on this. So we're going to coach you on not only the initial approach, but also overcoming the not seeing bugs objection. And to incentivize you, we have some swag. So whichever rookie comes up, we got some swag for you too. Okay, Nick, let's do it.
I love it, Nick.
Always
Let's go,
volunteering.
Nick.
Let's go, dude.
We're going to do this and then break out into groups, so watch this closely because you're about to be doing this in a small group here in 2 minutes.
We may pause Nick as we go, just to like help subtract or add things. So,
How confident are you feeling?
Heart's beating a little bit.
I know, it's a lot of people, huh?
I know, I've never done it in front of so many people.
Cool. How about we do what are you treating for and how much? So I'm going to give you...
let me go back to it then.
Yeah. So you're going to intro yourself, do the whole initial approach. I'll say, oh yeah, what are you treating for? You'll go ahead and give me that response and then bait me for how much again.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and give you how much. So yeah, if we notice something, we're probably going to stop here. I have to go, but you seem dialed. I'm confident in you.
I don't know.
Oh, yep.
Okay. We good?
Yep. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good, yeah. I'm doing some work for Bob and a few of the other neighbors around here. Have they let you know what we're doing?
They haven't. What's going on?
Okay. I'm here doing the pest control, and my trucks are close by. If we could fit you in on our schedule, we could get your service done for super cheap.
Okay, yeah, what do you guys even treat for?
It's a great question.
Let me show you.
Yeah, so
Yep,
say,
so let's pause.
show you,
Yep.
and then rather than like this approach like this, you're gonna say, yeah, let me show you, and like come in at this side.
over?
You can. Like sometimes what I'll do, I'll show you really quick. So sometimes what I'll do, as you say, what are you training for? I'm just gonna say, yeah, great question. Let me show you, and I'll give it 0.2 seconds to see if he starts to go for the card, and then if he doesn't, then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the front work for him anyways, and walk up and around.
And oftentimes you guys will meet each other.
Yeah. So.
In the middle.
So yeah, let's just start from the top one more time. Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Cool. I'm doing some work for John and a few of the other neighbors. Have they let you know what we're doing?
They haven't. What's going on?
Okay, gotcha. I'm here doing the pest control. My trucks are close by, actually. If we could get you fitted in on our schedule, we could get your service done for super
Good job, dude.
Okay. Yeah, and what are you treating for?
Great question. Let me show you.
Good. Now, banana.
Yeah, there you go. Great. You're doing great.
So we treat all the general pests. Some of the neighbors have seen some ants and stuff like that. What have you guys seen in the past?
We haven't seen a ton of ants, but we've seen a few spiders here and there.
Seen some spiders. Are you seeing them inside or outside more?
Mainly just outside. I get like the cobwebs up high.
Gotcha. I don't know where to go from here.
Cool.
Good, good.
Oh, that's
good
great.
job. Let's
so
go.
you said, yeah,
Nice,
give it up.
dude. That was good.
So you said, yeah, are you seeing these inside or outside? And without looking at this, like what do you want me to say next? Like what response do you want me to say?
Okay. I would probably say, we can totally take care of that for you. We can get rid of those.
Yeah.
If we could fit you in.
Exactly.
There you go,
since we're
money.
here in the area.
Money.
Go from there.
Yeah. So whenever I get like stuck, I think of like, what's my goal? Like what do I want that customer to say to me? And you want them to say how much, right? So what do I got to do now to get them to say that? And that would be it. So it'd be like, cool, yeah, we definitely take care of those. If I could fit you in today, it would be half off. So, great.
Cool.
Cool. Good job, dude. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
good
it.
work.
Good job.
Give him a round of applause.
Carter.
Yeah. Always remember
Great job, dude.
Michael Scott's ABCs of sales. Does anyone know it? The ABCs of sales? Yeah. Tevin, Ethan? Always be closing, right? That's the goal. Every time you give a tailored response, you're giving more information, you're trying to close them. So good work. Okay, we're going to break off into groups. Get in groups of 3 or 4, find your manager, find some leaders or vets. We'll do a little bit of practicing, and then we'll come back, and then we'll finish up. It'll take us a couple more minutes to finish. Let's do it.
Let's do the small groups.
So not do this. Okay, cool. Let's finish in the groups.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.